From staff breaking into fights right in the middle of service while Taffer watched on,
I've never seen this type of employee interaction in front of customers before.
I mean, literally behind the bar.
to a drunk owner getting way too comfortable with customers' drinks,
Come on, let's taste this. That's terrible. I'll get you a shot. I'm not gonna dip my straw in there.
here's what happened to the bars that shocked Jon Taffer. Starting with Skip and Jan's Sports Bar, where Natalie had spent years rising from server to owner, but personal struggles pulled her focus away, eventually forcing her to call Jon Taffer for one last time to save the bar. When the staff were interviewed about the bar, even they admitted that the kitchen was the absolute worst.
And then the kitchen was disgusting.
It looks kind of cock-a-nasty.
So when Taffer and his team showed up and watched from surveillance footage what was going on in the bar, the moment the footage panned to the kitchen, the first thing they noticed was the filthy oil. But that was only the beginning, because there was a lot more to be seen that would raise serious alarms.
Disgusting. And this carbon buildup on this grill, I mean, that's a fire hazard right there. Look, oh my God. How do you come here day after day and do nothing about it?
That sauce jar. Look at that jar. This might be one of the worst kitchens we've seen together.
Real.
Then came the pest situation, as the kitchen was so dirty that insects were seen casually everywhere.
Freaking cockroach walking across the kitchen. Okay, we've seen it all. Food mishandling, filth. Now we've seen cockroaches. They can't eat this food.
And to make it even worse, the kitchen staff reaction when they were called out on it only added to the shock. Everyone simply shrugged it off like it was nothing.
You have nothing to say. You just don't care. Either don't care or you don't know any better, and both of them are absolutely ridiculous.
First of all, look at this. Nothing is ever cleaned here. Look at this grill. It's supposed to be silver, not black. Let's keep going. Let's run down the line.
The bar itself wasn't any better either. The inspection showed so much damage and neglect.
You know what this is? This is a bacteria colony right here. And this would probably kill us if you consumed it.
So, to reset things, the focus shifted to rebuilding the team in a cleaner and more controlled environment, and the relaunch also came up with a new name, Natalie's Bar and Grill. The bar itself was redesigned into a darker, more modern sports setting, giving it a clearer identity while also improving how the space functioned during busy hours. Today, the bar is still open in the same location and continues to draw in customers for activities like karaoke and billiards. But reactions online when the episode aired confirmed how bad things really were before the makeover. One person said, "Friend and I stopped for a beer at lunch and got tots to share. Ate half of them before a roach came crawling across the bar. We told the bartender, who walked over and calmly killed it. The bartender was not grossed out or appalled by any means. She acted like it was normal. Now I see why. Wishing we never ate anything from there now." After seeing staff normalize problems that could shut a bar down, the next bar manages to top it almost instantly, starting with problems you could spot before even ordering anything. High Five Grill in Tucson, Arizona started when Kathy Whaley bought the bar with little experience, leaving her to handle everything as the bills kept stacking up. By the time Bar Rescue stepped in, the condition of the bar made it clear why things had gotten so bad, since the space itself felt outdated and worn down.
We have a little U-shaped bar in the middle of the room, and there's the kitchen right to the left of it with a green curtain. That separates the kitchen, Jen.
Then, when the cameras panned to the kitchen, Taffer and his team were already spotting filth all over the place. And Taffer already admitted this has to be the dirtiest bar he's seen in a while.
Look at the kitchen.
Oh, this is bad.
It's filthy.
Oh, gosh.
Wow.
Oh,
There's a cockroach.
that is enormous.
How do they not see that? Oh, you can still around it. Oh my gosh.
Now we could have spread it all over the kitchen.
That first impression quickly led to bigger concerns, especially once it came out that the walk-in cooler was having even worse issues.
The cooler doesn't work. I'm told it's about 85 degrees in there.
Stop.
And they have beer in there, and they have some food product in there.
Why are they storing stuff in there if it's 85 degrees?
Yeah, it's not cold enough.
As if that wasn't enough, when the initial recon started, Taffer kept getting shocked by the problems that showed up as time went on.
We ready to get some drinks started, guys?
Yeah. So what do you got on drafts?
We have no draft tonight. It's just gonna be bottled.
No drafts? Why not?
Our walk-in has been down for a little bit, so we can't serve draft.
How long has it been down?
A month.
A month?
A month. I'm just the bartender.
At the same time, the kitchen told its own story as soon as the cook, Cody, started his thing.
Look at that burger.
Ew! too.
It's not the right color.
Oh my God.
This kitchen is a disaster. I'm terrified to see the bar.
What is he doing? He's putting a meat thermometer in a hamburger. I've never seen that in my life, chef.
It's pointless. The bottom of his probe is touching the hot
grill, of course.
So he's not getting an accurate temperature on it.
What's with that cheese? Oh, is that all dry and hard?
Yeah, it has structure.
It didn't take long for things to reach a breaking point, and Taffer had to go in to shut things down before anything got served.
This is unbelievable. This should be shut down. This should not be operating this way. Chef, can we let a customer eat that?
Absolutely not.
They're gonna make people sick.
We have to go in there.
We do. Let's do it. We'll see you later.
All right, good luck.
Then Taffer went into the kitchen himself to challenge the cook. The list of surprises just kept getting longer.
Jon, I mean, even on the inside, it's all the way through. When were these made?
Does this look good to you? Would you want to eat that?
Personally, no, sir.
But you're serving it to people. Where's Kathy?
However, it didn't just end there. The stress test came with its own shocking surprises too. And as service ramped up, everything in the kitchen started to go out of control.
That's food cost right there, bud. What's your big plan with it? You got to have somewhere to land that first, yeah? You're struggling.
Let me take that back. I want to show them because I'm training them.
Let me get another burger on the fly. This is one of the first four. It's raw.
Did you tempt the burger, Cody?
No.
After that, the only way forward was a full overhaul, and the team rebuilt the space as Cinco Cantina, shifting to a Southern Arizona style with darker colors, tile details, and a design that better fit the local area. For a short time, it seemed like those changes could give the bar a chance to recover, but within just a few months after filming, and before the episode had even aired, the bar shut down completely. The location has moved on entirely, now operating as Tio Ben's Mexican Grill. But once the episode made its way online, reaction centered on how insane it was that the bar had a walk-in fridge that wasn't working. Some said, 85 degrees? That means the beer's now exposed, so if someone drank that, they'd be getting sick and they wouldn't know it. The walk-in fridge has been down for a month? While High Five Grill showed how fast things can collapse behind the scenes, the next spot brings the same kind of problems, just with a whole new level of carelessness. For Ed and Valerie Comperta, buying Colorado Cork and Keg in Castle Rock, Colorado seemed like a chance to build something of their own. But before long, that move came with problems they weren't ready for. So, hoping for a fresh start, they brought in Jon Taffer through Bar Rescue. But the first look at the building already hinted that bigger issues were hiding underneath.
We're here looking at this bar called Colorado Cork and Keg. Colorado is one letter. Cork is over here. Keg is like a half a mile away with a little N mark in the middle.
Then once he stepped inside, the problems became even more obvious, since simple tasks that should have been routine weren't even done right.
Oh, look at that. Now, this is a beer bar. Look at that. So when that beer comes out with that foam, you know what this is. Either the pressure isn't right, the temperature isn't right, or those beer lines are disgustingly dirty. Look at that. She can't get, it's foam and foam and foam. So she's going to dump 3 or 4 beers down the drain to get one. So they have no chance of making money. And look at Ed standing there watching the beer go down the drain. So I can see already, Ed has no problem watching his wife work.
As things kept unfolding, Taffer brought in beer experts for recon, and they quickly spotted what the issue was with the beer.
Yeah, I think the smell was the first red flag.
Bad line?
Yeah, I was thinking bad lines.
Yeah, it's not fresh.
Super undercarbonated, I feel like.
Yeah.
As bad as it already was, the kitchen was where the biggest shockers were waiting for Taffer.
Look at this. Here we go. What the hell is that? What is that?
Oh! Encrusted mayo neck.
And she's filling those with that.
Oh. What the hell is she doing? She's washing lettuce in a hand sink? Oh, no.
That is disgusting.
Wow, Jon.
And if that wasn't enough, it turns out not all the cooking was done inside.
Look at this. They have a barbecue outside the restaurant. So she's cooking outside the back door.
Oh, man.
And is that a stack of... That's a bag of burger patties. Just sitting out in open air next to a barbecue. Is that legal, Vic?
Boy, no, that's not legal at all.
There's no refrigeration around those? That's not being stored or held properly?
No.
Can you cook a hamburger outside and bring it inside legally?
This right here, no, not like this.
This is completely illegal.
Completely illegal, this practice.
What was even more shocking was how the food had to be handled from way outside to inside before being served to customers.
How far away is that grill from the kitchen?
Let's follow her out there. Okay, now that burger is gonna go in the back door, across the bar. Now we go back into the kitchen, because she's got to dress it, right?
Oh my goodness.
So she's going out the kitchen, through the back bar, into the grill. Now I'm guessing she's gonna put the cheese on it or something.
To top it all off, Taffer went in to challenge the owners, but Ed was unbothered, busy with friends, and Taffer was sure to give him a piece of his mind.
Food being cooked improperly, and your husband's a social butterfly.
Yeah.
Food's being destroyed in the back. Your business is going down the tubes, and you're not doing anything about it, but your wife is trying. If this was my wife, I'd be working next to her.
After some training and promises to improve, the focus then shifted to rebuilding the bar, leading to a full redesign with a much better space and a new name, Valerie's Brewhouse. But even with those improvements, the deeper issues did not fully go away. And in the end, the bar eventually closed down, while Ed and Valerie even ended up separating. Colorado Cork and Keg already hinted at how fragile bars are when leadership slips. The next bar continues that same thread, where the real shock is not the building, but it's the behavior behind the counter. At JJ's Sports Bar and Grill, the biggest issue that shocked Jon Taffer wasn't the food or the building, it was the owner, Joe Sweden, who from the get-go just seemed downright rude.
His attitude was just bad.
Do you know where the toilet seat covers are?
Okay, you want me to be a cook? You want me to be a bartender? You want me to be a janitor? You pick.
Then during recon, a bunch of customers came in, and all Joe could be seen doing was drinking away.
There he is. See, this is the second drink in 10 minutes I've seen him have.
Trying to catch
We just took a shot.
Already, let's take one more.
Already, let's take one more.
Tammy, the drink was weak. Can we get one more on the house?
So he's out there with his gloves, drinking his drink, touching everything around him.
I'm not bartending today. Today I'm actually cooking. I do everything here.
How many drinks a night would you say he has?
5, 6.
There's his drink. It's almost gone.
Yeah, but he's gonna ask for another one.
Instead of staying focused on cooking in the kitchen, he came back outside to the bar and just kept on downing more shots.
So he's going to take a shot while he has another drink. Oh.
Since he was already so drunk, his interaction with customers turned completely inappropriate.
Come on, let's taste this.
What the?
That's terrible. I'll get you a shot. I'm not going to dip my straw in there.
Please don't.
This is unbelievable.
That pushed Taffer to step inside and meet with Joe himself. And you'd think Taffer's presence would change anything, but Joe still wouldn't stop drinking.
Take a good sip of that, Joe. Joe, enjoy that, because that's the last drink you're gonna have while I'm here. So enjoy that last sip.
As Taffer and Joe locked horns while they were talking, things only kept getting worse. And the things Joe was saying had everyone shaken.
You don't have a drinking problem. How many drinks have you had today, Joe?
I had 4 doubles.
4 doubles and a couple of shots.
1 shot.
This man is losing his house, folks. He has enough money to make it 2 more months, right, Joe?
Yes.
You're in debt a couple $100,000. And your answer? 5 doubles. Are you that much of an idiot, Joe?
No, I'm a very smart guy.
Because your wife is begging you to sober up and save your house.
She should have been behind the bar. She should teach the bartenders how to bartend.
And you should do nothing but drink.
I was cooking.
And you weren't cooking, you were sitting here drinking.
I was on break.
I didn't know owners took breaks.
The altercation kept getting more heated, and before long, it was getting out of control.
Family's at risk. I better sweep the floor. Boy, my family's at risk. I better make sure the drinks are right. Boy, my family's at risk. I better do something. But not you, because you are a loser. I understand that, but somebody has to be in charge, Joe.
I agree with you 100%.
Who's in charge? Okay.
Joe eventually calmed down and promised to do better, but when Taffer brought in trainers to help train the kitchen staff and improve the food, Joe proved very stubborn.
So, we had 2 against 1 in the kitchen. The ladies loved the dish. Joe had another opinion on it.
I feel like the dish is great, but it doesn't compare to our tacos, and that's what we're known for.
I think you should honestly shut the up and listen. If you're going to do it your way, then why are we here? Who in the family thinks we should do it our way? Raise your hands.
Then when the stress test came, Joe still went ahead making his own type of food, and to no one's surprise, it didn't go well.
That's only a portion.
So to fix things, the focus shifted on resetting both the look and the systems, leading to a rebrand as JJ's Sports Cafe with a new exterior, cleaner layout, and more efficient workstations. Those changes helped create a short-term boost, and the bar remains open till today, but some choices from the relaunch didn't stick since the new name was eventually dropped and the bar returned to being called JJ Sports Bar and Grill. When the episode aired, reactions online focused heavily on the owner's behavior, with comments like, "Why would the father of this bar be drunk at a time like this while he's managing? That ain't right." That kind of leadership failure doesn't stay contained for long, and the next bar shows exactly what Taffer's dealing with in these cases, where bad habits at the top end up shaping everyone working underneath. Jeff Simon spent more than 3 decades working as an accountant before deciding he wanted a change, and that decision led him to buy Bryant's Ice House in Katy, Texas. But once he stepped into it, reality hit fast, because the business was already carrying close to $1 million in debt. So when Jon Taffer was called in to intervene, the first surprise was his journey, just trying to figure out where the bar was located.
Who the hell builds or buys a bar in a place that nobody can find? Especially right around here. Look at the rooster. Was this a bar at all? Or is this a chicken farm? You almost feel like there's going to be a meth lab at the end of the road and you're going to get your brains blown out or something.
Once he finally found the bar, the issues inside were already worrying. The maintenance guy was flat out drunk and had the most disgusting behavior.
Here's Randy. He's the maintenance guy. He actually lives on property.
How you girls doing? Good.
How are you doing? How are you?
Excuse me.
You're fine.
I just farted.
He's drunk and he's going to chase your women away.
Why you gotta have some meth?
Whoa.
Then, only a few minutes later, a fight soon erupted among the employees, turning the place into complete chaos.
Missy! You guys been sitting over there without a beer? I have no idea. I didn't do shit in your bar. I did not. Don't tell me. You just told me you did.
Does this guy understand his staff is going to cause him to lose it all? Look at what they're doing. This is ridiculous.
When Taffer stepped in and called all the staff for a meeting, it just kept becoming more obvious how uncivil and inappropriate they all were, and the leadership was clearly lacking.
You can't even talk right now. Sit the hell down. That's the epitome of irresponsibility.
Randy, sit down, please. And listen.
Good.
Sit down and listen.
I'm good.
Sit down and shut up for once.
Come on,
I'm
shut
asking
the
you.
up.
Randy, I'm asking.
Even
Randy,
bitch.
I'm asking.
This is the problem right here.
Randy, you say you bitch to these girls in my presence again, I'll knock your ass out.
It got to a point where Taffer had to send Jeff out because his behavior was getting straight up unacceptable.
I say you get the out of here.
See you. What the damn hell's going on with this?
But there's still more drama waiting, because the next day, during another meeting, it was discovered that there was an employee who may have been stealing from the bar.
She stole from you?
Yeah.
How'd I steal from you, Randy?
We have an actual record of theft. Watch this. This video came from my surveillance. So there's Kimmy. She's got the sweatshirt in her hands, puts the key back by the register, hasn't paid for it yet, puts the sweatshirt on without putting any money in the register. Do you deny that?
I always had the best of intentions of paying for them.
Now, Jeff, have you ever seen anything?
Yes.
So he knew it and let her come to work the next day. You're becoming an enabler.
Yes, I am.
You're enabling the drinking. You're enabling the theft.
She was eventually fired, and after that, the makeover began with a full rebrand as the Wildcatter Saloon, complete with much improved space inside. Those updates started to show results not long after, since sales increased by a noticeable margin, and the bar remains open till today, continuing to host live music and large events that drew in crowds from the area. As people reacted to the episode, much of the focus stayed on the employees' behavior, with comments like, "Who tells a lady they just farted while in a bar as an employee? If you steal from your workplace, you should be fired and you'll deserve it." And if that already felt messy, the next stop shows how quickly things can spiral when experience doesn't match reality. Will and Candace Kuhn are not new to the bar business, having already built and designed several bars before taking on Ace Sports Hangar in the Colony, Texas for Candace to run. But then the pandemic hit and losses piled up fast. The pressure strained their finances, relationship, and other businesses, leading them to call Jon Taffer. But once he arrived, the first major problem appeared in the kitchen with the cook.
Tyler, you good?
We've got one order of chicken fingers left.
What do you think about the exposed armpits? Would you allow that in your kitchen?
Absolutely not, and it's a health violation.
After that, recon began, and when Taffer watched his spies try the drinks, their reaction said it all. It was clear that something wasn't right behind the bar.
stir it up a little bit more. That's not great.
The first 3 minutes are not going well, are they?
So they moved on to food orders, and the attention quickly shifted back to the kitchen. Taffer was shocked by how slow and unorganized everything was, and it only made things look even worse.
We're already at 15-minute ticket time and we haven't started cooking it, so.
Yeah, they have no system in place.
Where's the other wings?
That's the last bag of wings right there, too. They didn't come on the order.
This isn't even enough for the tickets that you have up here.
I know this because I didn't get to see any
All right,
of these
let's just
tickets.
count it out.
So unorganized.
At the same time, the owners kept clashing. The communication issues were hindering service, and Taffer was clearly growing frustrated watching it all unfold.
Okay, so we don't need this? No.
Wow.
Why are we making wings that we don't need when wings are in short supply?
I don't know where he got those.
Then things got worse when surveillance showed the cook handling food in a very questionable way. That was enough for Taffer, and he decided he had seen enough for the night.
And there he is grabbing the raw ingredients with his bare hands.
Look at the
Oh my God. And he just wipes it on his, look at that. He grabbed the plate. Oh my God.
Let's go inside. I want to stop them.
Yeah.
That food's not going out.
The next day, the stress test started, and more issues showed up right away. This time, it was the bar, where the bartender struggled to even make simple drinks correctly.
You know I gotta dump that. Specs were off.
Okay.
Can we do that again? I gotta do it again to you.
Okay.
You didn't muddle.
Okay. Yeah.
Too much lemon in both of them? No good.
From there, everything fell apart quickly, and the whole night turned into a disaster, which absolutely pissed off Taffer.
They don't have drinks. Our sequencing is falling apart, and now they'll never get it back together again.
I gotta take it from you.
Okay.
Y'all gotta toss it, right?
No.
I need a Cowboy Ranch water right now.
They did manage to get through it, and then came the reset. The bar got a full makeover with a cleaner and more modern design that made it easier to work in. After that, there was a short boost in sales and teamwork, but it didn't last. A few months later, the owners decided to sell the bar. New ownership took over and renamed it Twisted Bar and Grill. When the episode aired, online reactions pointed out just how disorganized everything had been earlier, with comments like, "I would not work at a place like that very long. Kill that noise." Shaking my head. That kind of situation at Ace Sports Hangar doesn't just end there, because the next bar shows how things start slipping before service really gets a chance to settle in. The fifth bar started out as a simple pizza shop run by Jack Hepworth, and over the years, it slowly grew into a popular local hangout that people kept coming back to. Things kept running on history alone until that history could not carry it anymore, as Jax eventually passed the business down to Brad, and the day-to-day operations started slipping. During the rescue process, it quickly became clear to Jon Taffer that Alyssa, one of the bartenders, would be even harder to deal with than the struggling business or the condition of the building itself. So when Taffer watched her during recon, with almost 20 years behind the bar, you'd expect her to know her stuff, but a basic cocktail order proved otherwise.
You can tell by the glass that drink sucks. This is a pint glass. It's made for beer, not a cocktail. It's just not gonna work.
It's a gin drink, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I've worked here 16 years and never had anyone order one.
That already raised eyebrows, but then things only got worse when a whiskey sour was ordered right after, and she messed that up too.
How do you not know what that is when you're a bartender?
I don't know.
You can't make a whiskey sour that
Look at
fast.
the color of that. That's not a whiskey sour.
At that point, the situation started to spiral because instead of trying to fix the mistakes, she reacted to customers laughing at the drinks by swearing at them, and then she did something no one expected.
Ridiculous.
Is she like leaving? She just walked out. Like, I think she's like done.
Whoa.
Brad just had an employee walk out, and he didn't even notice.
Meanwhile, this bar also had one of the most absent-minded owners Jon Taffer had seen. Brad showed a complete lack of attention, and to test how aware he was, Taffer quietly pulled staff members out of the bar one at a time.
So I got the soccer team and 15 customers, and I'm pulling bartenders. And let's see what Brad does.
Oh. We could do a shot.
Pull another bartender.
Pull one more bartender.
He's getting up. Where's he going? Let's follow Brad.
You're just letting her out.
Oh my gosh.
It got to a point where there wasn't a single staff member left in the bar, and Brad still didn't notice.
Every employee is gone.
Oh my gosh.
Any owner who doesn't notice that their bar is packed and there's no employees either doesn't care or is an idiot.
So when Taffer walked in and confronted him, his reaction didn't even seem like he cared.
You understand there's not one employee in the building right now?
No shit.
All of them are gone at once.
Oh, I imagine I thought they were gonna come back in.
So if they never come back, you're just gonna sit here all night? You have people there that are not being served.
I can't serve them because I've been drinking.
If you weren't drinking, could you serve them?
Yes.
The next day came with a lot more drama and surprises because later on, during training sessions with bar expert Tommy Palmer, Alyssa the bartender's attitude didn't improve at all. She stayed stubborn and came off arrogant when questioned about the same cocktail she couldn't make earlier.
What's in a gimlet?
I have no idea.
Nobody comes in and orders a gimlet, ever, which I have never sold in 16 years, not once.
I'll just tell you right now, Elisa, as a bartender, you should know a gimlet.
And it kept building from there, and eventually it got to a point where even Tommy was clearly fed up with how she was acting.
I don't know what Elisa's deal is with the attitude, but John brought me here to help, and Elisa is not helping any of that happen.
Then things took another turn because Alyssa ended up doing something that almost never happens during training on the show.
But the whole point of this training, Elisa, is to improve and get better. Hope I didn't offend you.
This is exactly what I don't want.
Even after all that, the rescue still moved forward, and Taffer pushed ahead with upgrading the bar, bringing in new equipment and giving the place a fresh interior. But once the cameras were gone, things soon went downhill quickly after an 18-year-old legal issue canceled the bar's liquor license. The business couldn't recover after that and ended up closing for good. The reactions online couldn't help but be shocked by the bartender's unnecessary attitude and Brad's laziness, with comments like, "Imagine being a bartender and getting triggered because someone ordered a gimlet. Every bartender leaves the pub and the owner just sits down at a booth, drinking, and shrugs his shoulders like it's no big deal. Customers are waiting to be served and he does nothing about it. Laziness galore." That fifth bar situation already showed how quickly things unravel when leadership is missing and nobody corrects it. The next bar comes in with that same kind of instability, just with bigger pressure behind the scenes. Bill Rodenizer had once been a regular at the Chicken Bone in Framingham, Massachusetts, before deciding to buy it and leave his excavation business behind. It seemed promising at first, but a failed expansion to Boston drained money, forcing his family to downsize while he worked longer hours to keep the original bar alive. So when Jon Taffer stepped in to intervene, he sent in his wife, Nicole Taffer, for recon, and she got a handful of surprises as soon as she started ordering.
I think they describe it as a surprise.
Oh, the surprise.
At the bottom.
They misspelled surprise. The word surprise was misspelled. It said surprise. They forgot the R. But the second surprise I experienced was a little bit of heartburn and an upset stomach. I seriously got a little sick from it.
Jon Taffer soon came in himself, and his conversation with the owner revealed some shocking details about the bar's finances.
Have customers actually saying to my spies that they don't like coming here because they don't want to drink with kids running around. And what has happened is you moved yourself to a place where you satisfy no one.
How did my sales double? How did I go from 900 to 2 million?
You're doing $2 million a year now?
Yeah.
Here?
$2 million yearly is a lot, and if a bar's still failing with that amount of sales, Taffer was going to make sure he found out what was wrong. But then came the first hurdle of convincing the owner that changes needed to be made, starting with a sign outside.
I want to take that piece of foam board down and make it professional with a name that positions you properly. Chicken Bone's got to go.
Yeah.
Chicken Bone has got to go. When you have a fresh beginning, you have a honeymoon. You have a fresh start.
I don't agree with that.
I can be one aggressive when I need to be. So we're clear? That sign goes down?
We're clear that that sign goes down. I'm not agreeing to get rid of the name yet.
That name is going to change.
Next came a meeting with the staff, where Taffer just kept discovering more shocking details about the owner.
Is he a control freak?
Control freak, absolutely.
Mitch, if I told you I want you to list every recipe for me, can you do it?
No, I can't. I don't have the recipes to any of the sauces. I'm not entitled to them.
How come?
How many people am I going to allow to come through the kitchen to just make all the sauces?
Fridays does it. You know, I've never heard of that before. Who makes the sauce?
There's 2 cooks in the kitchen to make it.
You trust those 2 cooks, but you don't trust him?
I think you should have Jeff weigh in on this because ultimately it's Jeff's decision if he's the kitchen. Absolutely.
So it's your decision who accesses the recipe and such?
I don't have access to the recipes.
Then the kitchen was inspected, and what Taffer found left him utterly disappointed.
What's that all about? Health violation. This is all contamination right here. This can spoil a person's year. Oh my goodness.
I gotta show you something that is just unbelievable. Look at this.
Oh, guys.
Look at this.
Guys.
It's so caked in, I can't even get it out of there.
Even as the kitchen was being cleaned, every nook and cranny just showed more signs of absolute disgust and neglect. And as if that wasn't enough, Bill refused to accept responsibility and walked out on Taffer as the staff cleaned. And he wasn't even around for the stress test later that day.
Go clean your kitchen and take responsibility.
Meanwhile, Taffer's experts finally found out the reason why this bar was losing so much despite the huge sales. It was because of the walk-in fridge that was stacked to the brim with loads of food that would end up going bad. After that, the focus shifted to training the staff, making the kitchen more efficient, and then finally rebranding the bar as The Bone, with a food and music identity and a more mature, toned-down look. At first, these updates started to make a difference, but as anyone would guess, with a stubborn owner like Bill, many of the changes were reversed. Reviews online confirmed this, with one person saying, "I went today, about 3 years after the Bar Rescue episode aired. The restaurant has changed its name back to the Chicken Bone. The menu is back to 5 pages. The decor that was changed in the episode is back to the original. Overall, not bad, but a far cry from where the episode finished up on Bar Rescue." Soon enough, the bar shut down in November 2014, which was just a little over 3 years after the Bone Bar Rescue episode aired on TV. Meanwhile, comments online couldn't get over the disgusting food storage, and one comment sarcastically said, "This bar must be the best chicken wing bar in the world. They could even cook rotten chicken." After seeing that level of kitchen neglect at the Chicken Bone, it's not surprising what comes next. The next bar brings in an owner who's just as unbothered by what is going on in his own place. In the Dugout Bar in Chicago, Jon Taffer faced one of the most stubborn, self-destructive owners in the show's history. When Ed Cressy took over the bar after previous tenants fell behind, the bar had potential, but his hands-off style and drinking on the job let things slide. Soon, debt was piling up fast, and because of that, bringing in Jon Taffer through Bar Rescue became an attempt to fix the business. As soon as the early footage was reviewed, nothing looked good. The bar looked in complete disarray and was unimpressive.
You have to make your bar right.
I don't need to know every aspect of everything because that's not my daily.
You run a business.
I work 15 hours here every day.
Do what? What? So I know it's not your business. All right.
Well, that's a pleasant way to start the evening now, isn't it?
Welcome to the Dugout.
So Taffer sent in his spies to order some food, and the way the food was being handled in the kitchen led to some serious concerns and had Taffer completely weirded out.
Coming out of the oil.
That's the food from the bottom of the fryer burning and coming up. Everything that's been cooked in there, you can taste in that macaroni now. And I don't even want to look at that.
It's a hot dog bun with his hand where the raw product was. No gloves, of course.
Oh, hands right into the pickle juice. That whole thing is spoiled now, John.
Oh, man.
There's no way in hell, John, anything can be served out of there.
Meanwhile, back in the bar, there was an infestation of insects that was absolutely disgusting.
All over the place.
Oh, man.
Doesn't it take them a while to just get a hot dog and something you fry up?
Looking at everything unfolding on camera, Taffer then sent in his experts to take a proper look at the kitchen, and what they found was even more alarming.
I'm one of John's experts. We've been watching you from the SUV, and I've got to ask, would you eat out of this oil? You got to understand that you literally have mold on the side. You have disgusting grease that you're cooking food in. It's okay to serve this barbecue sauce that came from the most disgusting container I've ever seen in my whole life.
It was obvious that Ed couldn't care less, and every time the experts questioned him, his replies just didn't seem like he was interested.
You guys all work together and you can't make a same drink standing side by side?
It's not that simple. It's not that simple, Ed. The smartest people have people in place that know exactly what they need to be done.
In some sense.
This guy won't talk to his customers. He won't talk to Phil. Won't talk to Ryan. Let's see if he talks to me.
Taffer had had enough and stepped in to confront Ed himself, but it really didn't make any difference.
30 to 40,000. You think cleaning it might help a little?
Gets cleaned every day.
Oh.
Look at all of these flies up along the railing. Look at all of these.
Ryan, throw out the
food in that kitchen. Shut it down.
No problem, John. Do it
Nobody
right now.
eats anything in this place. Look at this place.
When everyone was annoyed, Ed's response after all that was even more shocking.
Perfectly good mushrooms. Oh, better not have thrown out my freaking lobster.
When the stress test began, things followed the same pattern, with him showing up in no condition to manage even basic tasks.
Take this serious, man. I tell you what, I've been with Jon before, but we haven't remodeled bars. And if you don't prove yourself tonight, that could happen.
Have you guys seen Ed smile yet? No. What about you guys? So nobody has seen Ed smile. I had one purpose tonight. I wanted to know if Ed could actually frickin' smile. So the man had a packed bar, right? Yeah. Great customers, right? Yeah. Making money, right? Yeah. But did smiling Ed smile?
No. Despite everything, Jon Taffer still moved forward with a reset, reworking the bar into the press box with a polished journalism theme. But then the craziest thing happened when Ed showed up being all friendly with Jon, so something rather unexpected happened.
I wanted the knowledge. I'm a smart businessman. I want to know how to run 36 bars from a ship in Costa Rica or something.
There's your bar. Run it, take the signs down, change the name, do whatever you want. I'm leaving. Tell him what you want to do, guys.
I quit.
Good luck.
Yeah, good. See you later. You're gone too?
And even after everything, this is what Ed had to say to Taffer.
Failing owner. I can't help someone who won't help themselves.
Tables look nice, bar stools look nice.
This was the last straw. Jon and his team walked away, leaving Ed to destroy what was left of his own bar. When the episode aired, people couldn't believe how arrogant Ed was, with comments like, "Ed was so in denial and so stubborn. Jon should not have remodeled the bar and just gave up. Ed is delusional." He is the biggest bar rescue jerk for sure. That dugout situation was more about attitude getting in the way. The next bar shifts focus to something Taffer sees just as often: operations that were never set up to function properly at all. Fairway's Golf and Grill in Murfreesboro, Tennessee was run by Richard Jordan, who had already poured a lot of money into the space. The problem was that none of that really showed where it mattered, because the kitchen had fallen apart behind the scenes, with no real system, no consistency, and issues that had clearly been left unchecked for a long time. To get a proper look at what customers were actually experiencing, Jon Taffer sent in Chef Bryant and mixologist Phil Wills. They placed a standard order of drinks and food, expecting a typical bar experience, but it didn't take long before things started to feel off. Behind the scenes, the kitchen was being run by Kevin, and watching from the cameras, Jon Taffer could already see that the way the food was being handled just wasn't right.
Clearly has raw product, raw pork, mind you. What raw food is he touching now? There's no sanitation. There's no hand washing. There's no gloves being used. There's no separation from raw to cooked product.
I don't know how he lasted 8 months.
The more he observed, the worse it looked. Equipment, surfaces, and utensils all appeared neglected, suggesting that the problems weren't recent but had been building for years.
Oh, look at that.
That bowl has not been cleaned since this place opened.
The tea drop.
Oh.
And they're putting that over food.
This is inexcusable, absolutely.
Out in the bar, the drinks told their own story. After a single sip, both Recon members had the same reaction. Something about them was clearly wrong.
When that hit my tongue was a very, very hard metallic taste. Oh, dude, that's bad. Right when it hit the bottom of my stomach, I knew something was wrong.
When the food came out, it included simple bar food like chips, salsa, and fried mushrooms, and a burger. But paired with the drinks, it quickly became too much. And the situation escalated when Phil had to step away almost immediately.
Also in-house?
We do.
You do.
Taking a closer look, Brian began pointing out specific issues with what had been served, especially the burger, which raised even more concerns the longer it sat in front of him.
Just so you know, medium doesn't bleed, so I got bloody medium. You guys make your own salsa in-house?
We do.
You do.
At that point, Taffer stepped in personally. Once inside, the full extent of the problems became impossible to ignore as more flaws were called out across multiple dishes.
These are the mushrooms, and this is actually dirt on the bottom of the mushrooms that was never wiped off. The mushrooms grow.
Once Taffer got into the kitchen, he didn't waste time, calling things out and had Kevin try the food for himself, and his reaction pretty much said everything.
Outside. I want you to taste that salsa for me. What do you think about that?
Tastes like
And it's bubbling because the bacteria has grown so far that it's bubbling, dude.
And it wasn't just one or two problems either. The issues were everywhere. The ventilation hadn't been touched in ages, with grease building up overhead, and the fryers were still being used with oil that should have been changed a long time ago. Then the walk-in coolers made things even worse, showing that the problems weren't just on the surface, but tied to how everything was being stored and handled. The level of filth was absolutely unbearable to everyone present there.
Oh, me. No way!
this is a Ford.
Oh, dude, you got mushrooms growing in your walk-in.
Spores. They have their own unique smell. You don't want to be breathing that stuff in.
Look at this!
Oh my God.
Get the out of here!
Not long after that, Kevin was let go, which finally opened the door to fixing the kitchen properly. From there, the focus shifted to putting simple items in place and cutting the menu down to something the staff could actually keep up with. Even with those changes, the episode stuck with people. A lot of viewers couldn't get past how bad things were before the turnaround, with things like, "It's genuinely an insane thing to let mushrooms grow all over your walls. They just had to not care whatsoever. If I applied for a job in that kitchen, I would tell them, I changed my mind. I'm sorry, I don't want the job." And then throw up and finally call the health department.